Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day to everybody. Okay, so for today we are going to proceed with the same topic, indices, surds and logarithms, but we are going to focus on rationalizing the denominators for expressions involving surds. Okay, now let's begin. Okay, our objective for today's lessons are rationalizing. In the end of the class, okay, you should be able to rationalizing the denominators for expressions involving sets, and you should also be able to solve problems involving sets. Okay, what type of numbers involving sets that need to be rationalized? So, numbers that contain irrational denominators such as 1 over 2 surd 3, 1 over 2 surd 3 plus 3 surd 5, 1 over 2 surd 3 minus 3 surd 5. So these are some of the examples that when you see this type of questions, we need to rationalize the surds, because as you can see, the surds here is at the denominator. So the similarities between these three examples is the surds are at the denominator. So when we talk about surds at denominator, we need to rationalize. So what does it mean by rationalize? Rationalize means that surds should be on the numerator. Okay? Okay. Next. The rules in rationalizing the denominators. So basically there are three rules. So let's look at it. So the first one, multiply the numerator and denominator of 1 over m surd a with the conjugate surd m m surd a, so that the surd can be eliminated from the denominator. Okay, and then the second one, multiply the numerator and denominator of 1 over m surd a plus n surd b with the conjugate surd m surd a minus n surd b, so that the surd can be eliminated from the denominator. And the last one, multiply the numerator and denominator of 1 over m surd a minus n surd b with the conjugate surd m surd a plus n surd b, so that the surd can be eliminated from the denominator. So from here, as we can see, when we are given the irrational surd, when it involves operation, so this operation is addition, right? So we need to multiply with the opposite one, so negative. Same goes to C. Here is minus, and then we need to multiply it with the opposite sign, which is positive. But from this case, for A, we don't have any operation for the surd, so we just multiply with the same one. Okay, next. What is conjugate in mathematics? So first of all, we need to know what is conjugate. A math conjugate is formed by changing the sign between two terms. Changing the sign. So this is the keyword. Between two terms in a binomial. For instance, the conjugate of x plus y is x minus y. We can also say that x plus y is a conjugate of x minus y. In other words, the two binomials are conjugates of each other. Again, as we can conclude before, that conjugate represent the opposite operation for the other term, right? So as you can see, this is plus and this is minus. So opposite operation. Okay. So here we can say that, oh, there are three cases like before. So when we have SURD M SURD A, our conjugate SURD is M SURD A, the same thing, because it doesn't involve any operation. But when we have SURD M SURD A plus N SURD B, the conjugate of the SURD is M SURD A minus N SURD B. So opposite operation. The same goes to the SURD M SURD A minus N SURD B. The conjugate SURD must be M SURD A plus N SURD B. Again, opposite operation. Okay, so simple, right? Okay, next. Let's look at example 1. Rationalize the denominator and simplify each of the following. So we have A 1 over 3 SURD 7, B 1 over 3 SURD 7 plus 2 SURD 5, and C 1 over 4 SURD 3 minus 5 SURD 8. So let's look at A first. Okay, so A we have 1 over 3 SURD 7. So you need to know that how can we find 1 over 3 SURD 7? 1 over 3 SURD 7 is actually the same as the product of 1 over 3 SURD 7 times 1 over 1. Fraction 1 over 1. So first of all, let's look which case does this question belongs to. Okay, so as we can see, this is the case for the first one. Okay, because it just involves 1 over M SURD A. Okay, so when we talk about the first case, we need to multiply with the conjugate SURD, which is M SURD A also. So what are we going to do is we need to multiply this with 3 SURD 7. Since we multiply the denominator with 3 SURD 7, of course, by using properties of multiplication for fractions, we need to multiply also the numerator with 3 SURD 7. Okay, so let's look the next step. What do we have? So we have this one. Okay, so next we need to multiply each term, right? So this one, the numerator multiply with the numerator, the denominator multiply with the denominator. So we will have this part for denominator. So basically we will have 3 SURD 7 over 9 times 7, because SURD 7 times SURD 7 we will have 7 only. So the answer would be 3 SURD 7 over 63. Okay, simple, right? Okay, let's move on to B. Okay, for B, we have 1 over 3 SURD 7 plus 2 SURD 5. So, the same thing, we need to know that this fraction is actually the product of 1 over 3 SURD 7 plus 2 SURD 5 times with fraction 1 over 1. So let's look which case does this question involve. So it is, so the question involved with operation plus. So we know that the case is for set m set A plus n set B. So this is the case for m set A plus n set B. So we know that when we have this case, we need to multiply the numerator and denominator with conjugate set m set A minus n set B. So we know that here we need to multiply this with 3 set 7 minus 2 set 5. The same goes to the numerator, 3 set 7 minus 2 set 5. So we will have this one. Okay, so of course for fraction, numerator will multiply with the numerator and denominator will multiply with the denominator. So we will have this one. So we know that, okay, this, how can we find this one? So this one times this one, this time times this one, multiplied with this. Okay, 2 set 5 multiplied with 3 set 7, and then 2 set 5 multiplied with 2 set 5. So we will have, okay, this is square, okay, this is square. So let's, okay, square. So 3 set 7 squared, and then minus 3 set 7 times 2 set 5 plus 2 set 5 times 3 set 7 minus 2 set 5 squared. Again, okay, the squared is not seen there, so squared. Okay, then we solve. Okay, we solve. So we will have 3 set 7 minus 2 set 5 over 9 times 7 minus with 4 times 5. So basically our answer would be 3 set 7 minus 2 set 5 over 43. So as you can see, set now is on the numerator, right? So it's been rationalized. So that's why before I told you that, well, what does it mean by rationalize? Rationalize means that we need to change the answer in which in the beginning the set is at the denominator, but after we rationalize the fraction, we will have the set is in the numerator. Okay. Okay. Next, let's look at C. Okay, C, 1 over 4 set 3 minus 5 set 8. Again, this fraction is actually multiplied with fraction 1 over 1. So let's look at which case. So this is minus, therefore this is the case in which the conjugate set must be m set A plus n set B. So we know that we need to multiply the second fraction with 4 set 3 plus 5 set 8. So both the denominator and the numerator need to be multiplied with the conjugate set, which is 4 set 3 plus 5 set 8. So we will have, okay, like this one, and then again the denominator, so we need to multiply each term. Okay, we need to multiply each term. So we will have this one. So again, the square is not seen here. There is the square, you know, but it's been intercept with this one. So I write again, I rewrite the square. So we know that 4 set 3, positive 4 set 3 multiplies with 5 set 8. Okay, minus with 5 set 8 multiplied with 4 set 3. So this will become 0. Okay, this will become 0. So what left is this one. 4 set 3 plus 5 set 8 over this one. Okay, 4 set 3 squared is 16 times 3. 5 set 8 squared is 25 times 8. So the denominator is negative value. Remember, negative could not be written at the denominator. So where should we write the negative? Negative must be right at the center of it. So our answer is negative 4 set 3 plus 5 set 8 over 152. Okay, simple, right? Okay, you just need to know. Always remember that conjugate is the change of the sign for the term. Okay, if you are given the first term a plus b, so the conjugate of it must be a minus b. Opposite operation, opposite sign. Okay, next, let's look at solving problems involving SURDS. So example 2. Okay, the diagram on the right shows a pyramid-shaped house. The triangle shape at the front of the house has an area of 20 set 3 minus 4 meters squared, and the length of its base is 4 plus 4 set 3 meter. Determine the height of the triangle at the front of the house in the form of a plus b set 3, where a and b are rational numbers. Okay, what are we going to find? We need to find the height. Okay, the height. So height equals to what? Okay, so first of all, in solving problem question, okay, we need to know all the information given. So you need to understand the problem first and gather all the information that are given in the question. Okay, so the first information that is given is the area of the triangle shape at the front. Okay, so we know that the area, okay, so this is area. Okay, the area is 20 set 3 minus 4. Okay, and then the length of the base, so 4 plus 4 set 3 is actually the base. So height, we don't know. What is the height? So this information you need to write down first. Okay, and then basic knowledge, we know that the area of triangle is half base times height. Half times base times height. So we know that since the area here is this one, so we know that area is 20 set 3 minus 4. So you can claim that, oh, the area basic is half times base times height. So we can say that, oh, half times base times height is actually 20 set 3 minus 4. Okay, from here, okay, we move on to the next step, which is implementing the strategy. Okay, remember before we said that half base times height is equal to 20 set 3 minus 4. So just substitute the value of base. So we said that the base is 4 plus 4 set 3. So we just substitute here. And then the height, okay, the height we don't know, right? So represented by T, tinggi. So we have our equation here. Half times 4 plus 4 set 3 times T is equals to the area, which is 20 set 3 minus 4. So when we solve the equation, we can see that T is equals to 20 set 3 minus 4 over 2 plus 2 set 3. Remember that we cannot give our answer in which the denominator involves SURD. So what are we going to do? We need to rationalize this one. Okay, so we look at the denominator, we see that, oh, the denominator involves SURD and operation is addition. So we know that in order for us to rationalize this fraction, okay, these irrational numbers at the denominator, we need to multiply with the conjugate SURD. So again, conjugate is the opposite sign, is the opposite operation. So we know that, oh, we need to multiply. Okay, this is 1 over 1 kan. Okay, so we need to multiply with the opposite sign there, the conjugate SURD, which is minus. So we will have 20 SURD 3 minus 4 over 2 plus 2 SURD 3 multiplied with the conjugate SURD, which is 2, the fraction of 2 minus 2 SURD 3 over 2 minus 2 SURD 3. And then we expand, and then we have the denominator is the negative value, which is negative 8. Okay, so negative 1 to 8 over negative 8 can be simplified to 16, and 48 over negative 8 can be simplified to 6. So this is our answer for height. So we can conclude that the height of the triangle part at the front of the house is 16 minus 6 SURD 3 meter. Okay, remember, when we have fractions in which the denominator involves SURDs, we need to rationalize the denominator. Okay, how can we rationalize the denominator? We need to multiply the SURD with the conjugate SURD. What is conjugate? Again, conjugate is the different sign, the opposite sign, the opposite operation for the first term. Okay, next. Okay, actually this one making conclusion ni, this one is checking answer lah. Okay, check if you want to confirm whether your answer is correct or not. So we know that area is 20 SURD 3 minus 4. So before we have our base, and then you find your height. So just substitute the base and height in the formula for area of triangle. Then if you have the same area with the question, therefore your height is correct. Okay, next, let's look at another example. Okay, example 3. The diagram on the right shows the right angle triangle ABC. A. Determine the area of triangle ABC. Again, area of triangle. We know that area of triangle is half times base times height. So we have our base. So our base is 5 plus 2 SURD 2. And this is our height. 5 minus 2 SURD 2. So just substitute in the formula. So we have this one. Okay, and then we expand. So we will have this one because, okay, this term, each term must be multiplied with each term. Okay, we expand. Okay, so we have this one. So this is 5 squared, and the last one is squared here, squared. Okay, so 5 squared, of course we have 25. 2 SURD 2 squared, we have actually 4 times 2. And then this one is the same value, okay? Negative 10 SURD 2 plus 10 SURD 2, in which will give us 0. So basically, the remaining of it is half times 25 minus 8, which gives us the area of ABC is 17 over 2 centimeter squared. Okay, simple. Okay, next. Let's look at B. Determine the length of AC. So, what is the length of AC? So, as you can see, the triangle given is right angle triangle, and we have two sides. So, what comes in your mind when we talk about right angle triangle? When we talk about right angle triangle, two things that must come into your mind. Whether you are going to use Pythagoras theorem or trigonometry. So, Pythagoras theorem is used when you are given two sides and you are required to find another side. Okay, trigonometry, you can use it to find the side or the angle when you are given a side and a side and angle. So in this case, we are given two sides and we need to find another side. So of course, in your mind, you should know that, oh, we are going to use Pythagoras theorem. So Pythagoras theorem states that c squared equals to a squared plus b squared, or hypotenuse is equals to, hypotenuse is equals to square root of a squared minus b squared. So, by this formula, we can say that, AC squared is equal to AB squared plus BC squared. So, we have the length for AC, we have the length for AB and BC. So, just substitute in the formula. Again, this is squared, okay. So, expand. So, when we expand, we have this one. Okay, this is squared. Okay, this is squared. This is squared. So, this one is negative 10 square root 2. Whereas this one is 10 square root 2. So, both of these plus negative 10 square root 2, negative 10 set 2 plus with 10 set 2, which will give us 0. So basically this part is 0. Okay, because after we expand and we add up all, we have this part is equals to 0. So the remaining will be AC squared equals to 25 plus 4 times 8. So 4 times 8 come from 2 set 2 squared plus 25 plus 4 times 2. 4 times 8 lah. 4 times 2 4 times 2. So where does 4 times 2 come from? So 2 set 2 squared is basically 4 times 2. So we have AC is equals to set 66 centimeter. Okay, simple. You just apply the knowledge that you've learned before, Pythagoras theorem. Okay. Next, test yourself. So, these are the questions for you to test yourself. Okay. All I want you to do is find the solution and discuss the answer with your teacher. Okay, next. So this is homework for today's lesson. Okay, self-practice 4.7, self-practice 4.8, and this one. Okay, page 108. Okay, so class, basically this is the lesson that I want to teach you for today. So first, we have learned how to rationalize the denominator involving surd. How? Of course, we need to multiply with the conjugate surd. Again, what is conjugate surd? Conjugate surd is, again, what is conjugate? Conjugate is the change of sign or the change of operation in the term. Okay. And then we also have learned on how to solve problems. Of course, in solving problems, first of all, you need to understand the problem. After you understand the problem, you need to write down all the information given and find the most suitable strategy in solving the question. Okay, so before I end up my session, okay, success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. So guys, of course, you need to do a lot of exercises because that's your effort. Okay, that's your effort. So last but not least, good luck and all the best. I end up my session with Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace be upon you. Thank you.